do I do the drop voice and we're live? No, we're not doing that. Welcome everyone to a political recap on Friday, because we're moving things around. Let's go with that. Oh look, Otaku in a chat. Called that.
Yeah, nailed it. Good job.
We're not dissing you or anything, Judas. We were talking about weebs. Joining me for this week's political recap is TrupsLP. Say hello, TrupsLP.
Hello, TrupsLP.
How is TrupsLP?
Doing all right. Sipping on some Crown Royal here.
Very adventurous.
Oh yes. Well, I get to drink on Fridays as opposed to, during the week when I have to go to work.
Let me join you.
Ah, yes.
Hello, Serene, Nestle, Blade, Victoria, Judas, Molestia, Jonas, Jimmy, Minnie, Prospero, Fenrir, and Laura. Hope you're all having a lovely Friday. Although why you're here and not out drinking is beyond me.
Why go out drinking when you can stay in the house and drink for free?
Yes, but then where are you? When you throw up in the house. It's all neat and tidy. Why do that when you could fall over in the street, chin the curb? I'll say it in American just for you, and throw up everywhere.
Great Smithanon. Which volume is low? The entire stream or just one of it?
Oh crap! I got top chat showing. My mistake. Oh right. It might be me. To be fair, I don't raise my... Both of us.
Interesting.
Hang on. How about now? Speak, Trups.
I will speak, Trups.
I
It might have been where Discord had updated and it changed its internal volume.
I had an update.
Yeah.
I really shouldn't have done it. Now I feel bad. I've lost the chat.
That's alright.
Woof. Indeed, Amatrine. I figured what we'll do this evening, we'll start with your rather amusing stuff, but I thought we'd start with the video I showed you of Trump saying something. Rather than going into the Biden stuff, we'll start with that first, because I think this is funny. Dandelion and Burdock. Good choice. And hello.
If you have a windmill anywhere near your house, congratulations. Your house just went down 75% in value. And they say the noise causes cancer.
Right, so Trump has been mocked for this by everyone. If you didn't hear clearly in the background, people were laughing at it. But that doesn't matter. What matters is Trump equated cancer to the sound generated by a wind turbine. I would like to now point out, wind turbines don't make a lot of noise. If that wasn't obvious enough it's a joke, I really don't know how better to explain it, but I could go further. Before we started, I indicated that Trump has a renowned history of disliking wind farms. He's known for this, because he was in a legal battle with Scotland because they wanted to put a wind farm near his golf course. He lost and had to pay the government's legal bills. If this wasn't more of a glaring statement that Trump just doesn't like wind farms, I don't know what is. Let's forget the fact that there are now 50 to 100 articles published about the scientific merit. That's not even a joke. One of the articles I found argued whether there was any scientific basis or fact in what Trump said. That's how outraged people got on this. Hell, if I...
That's the point. It's Trump. Everything that he says must be incorrect.
Let's just do this way and go to the replies. Who else is getting really tired of listening to this psychopath lie about literally everything? Let's keep going. Every time I think he has topped himself. I do believe the sound of Trump's voice can cause cancer over time. Actually, it's mutations within proteins that keep the cell cycle in check, as well as a host of other factors that cause cancer. I've never heard noise as one of those factors. I miss having an intelligent president. Oh, and someone who's verified. What a fucking idiot. Honestly. They didn't hear the laughter at the start. It's tragic that this is how pathetic things have gotten. And I do understand that for countries like yours, wind farms are insufficient. I get it. Prospero mentions it. I get it. But this is now obviously a joke. I wasn't arguing. I was talking to Ash on my server. It was when she posted this in shitposting. And I originally wanted the full context of the entire thing. Because I wanted to understand the whole argument. See what he actually said. But what does NRCC stand for? Does anyone know?
I do not.
I should have looked that up in hindsight. But I get the impression he was just joking about. Even in
NRCC is National Republican Congressional Committee.
So he was just messing about with Republicans.
Yes.
Right. Dear God. I know so, and there were some senior and senator-related Republicans who condemned this. Fucking hell.
Those are the ones you have to watch out for in particular, because those are the ones who are playing the media game, not the I'm myself, and also I'm going to continue doing my job.
Mm-hmm.
People like Dan Crenshaw, for instance, he does his job and also can take a joke.
Right. And yes, Prospero is thanking you for saving.
Oh yes, of course.
Right. Did you want to talk about the Biden thing? Do you want to play the 15-second clip first?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
So
this was a tweet that Donald Trump had put up on his his Twitter.
I haven't pressed
about
play yet.
Joe Biden's apology.
But yes, what was the tweet?
It was a response to Joe Biden's apology. It says, "Welcome home, Joe."
Right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I shake hands, I hug people, I grab men and women by the shoulders and say, you can do this. And whether they're women, men, young, old, it's the way I've always been. It's the way I try to show I care about them and I'm listening.
Quality banter.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious.
I love underneath, and I'm going to go here for it. The triggering of Ryan Hill here, another verified user, using other cases against Trump. It's quite an obsessive response. A Biden 2020 t-shirt with his hands on their tits. This is fantastic. People actually, triggered by this. I just can't be asked.
This was another quality response to that same tweet by Ed Krasenstein.
Oh God.
Put it in the sources chat. And
oh, hang on, I'll go get it. Oh, why am I yawning? Sorry. Shouldn't have yawned. Right, yes, on screen now.
One of these well, this person is one of two twin brothers who work for the Hill who are psychotic against Trump. And this is the funniest thing ever. The President of the United States is now sharing doctored videos. Doctored, are they? Doctored is not the word I would use.
No. I mean,
It's like this person is fundamentally detached from what a meme is.
I don't think he made the video at all.
I don't think he did either.
No, I'm sorry, but I know he shared a meme. But what's wrong with him sharing a meme? It's just a meme.
Because fun's not allowed.
It's just a prank, bro. But in this case, it is just a meme. He was just having a bit of fun with Joe Biden. That's it. He can do that. Well, then again, people can criticize. I think when people don't get when he's telling a joke, which was pretty obvious now that I've heard it properly, with the wind farm thing, and that, yeah, okay, he doesn't have much of a leg to stand on, but he's not trying to have a leg to stand on. He's trying to poke fun at someone. Seriously.
Yeah, I think especially with the wind farm thing and then seeing this meme edit come out, like, he's joking around. He's in a good mood.
Yeah.
God forbid our leader was in a bad mood.
I'm sure give it time,
Like,
he will be in one.
oh, I mean, I'm sure he's been in, shitty moods while he's been in president, but like, why not? Why not have? This is something that I used to say a lot of the time while I was in college. Why have a bad time when you could have a good time?
It's a fair point. I'm gonna close those sources. So, did you want to carry on talking about Biden, since we're on the subject?
Yes. So in case the chat is unaware, Biden has recently had a few individuals come out and basically Me Too him, accuse him of inappropriate touching and things of that nature. I actually did a video of it on my channel, which I'm pretty sure was not shadow banned, but definitely kept under wraps because it had less views than almost every other video.
I know I watched it.
Yes, I know. You commented. I was very happy to see.
It's just I don't really care for the Me Too thing. I have seen the videos of him being very handsy, but I even when I saw it, I didn't really see an issue with it.
Well,
Like, it
that's
just
the thing.
seemed just like a, I don't know, very friendly kind type.
Well, that's the irony now, isn't it? Like, yeah, we used to be able to do that. We used to be able to hug and to kiss people on the cheek, saying, "Oh, hi, how are you?" Especially in my family, because we're Hispanic and whatnot. Like that's just how we do it.
You hug, kiss, and scream at each other. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, of course, exactly, and throw chairs. Yeah, and that's the world goes round. But
no, doesn't it's flat.
we're not allowed to do that anymore. We're not allowed to show any kind of affection to one another, especially strangers. How dare you be affectionate to your common person in this world? That's not allowed.
It's a bit tragic. Hello, Carlos, and the memes of destruction. Hello, Leslie. I saw a number of people talk about this, and many took the side of, well, they're just, they're culling their own herd, really. And I thought, but is Biden a legitimate candidate that the Democrats could use?
Yes. In fact, he's probably one of the best ones they have had.
This is not what you want to be doing. I mean, if he's actually committed a crime, yeah, okay, then take him off the table. But if he hasn't, and you're genuinely Me-Tooing him over encroaching of personal space, which is in fact one of the title of the article you've linked me, then I think you are now, you're doing what the Republicans used to do, in the sense that you don't seem to know how to win.
Well, I think that's kind of the irony, the setup that they have made for themselves here. They created this environment where this was not allowed. Yes, there were people who abused the privilege in the past of being able to, hug and kiss and whatever. But that shouldn't now create an environment where nobody can touch anybody. That's kind of like when you're in, primary school and one kid screws up. Well, now the whole class doesn't get recess or whatever. No, that's not fair. But this is the world that the Democrats have made for themselves. So at this point, they're, as a lot of people have said, an Ouroboros or Ouroboros. I don't know how to pronounce that. Snake eating itself.
Yeah, you just keep trying and say that, and I'll laugh at you. Don't worry.
Oh, thank you. I speak Spanish, not Greek.
You'll get there
eventually. But that's the problem. Like, we've created this environment. This is our society now. You have made your bed. Now lie in it. It's your fault. But now the Republicans are playing their game, and that's not allowed. That's not fair. Oh yeah, it is. You started it. But then again, that mentality by itself, it's childish. You started it, right?
He said, she said, and yeah. You're it. I don't know what to say to any of it, to be honest. It's kind of sad, because I don't see, after watching the videos and looking at the articles, I don't see where he actually did anything wrong. Oh, thank you, Leslie. The personal space of my older generation is vastly different from modern personal space. You're quite right. Older generations lived closer together and were more friendly to each other. Generations now don't do that. They're very much, well, they quite like the whole, let's have at least 10 meters away from each other, and I'm going to throw this in because I can, but if a guy has personal space, we must invade that. Are you still there, Trups?
Yeah, sorry, I was reading Prospero's message to me about how that word is supposed to be said, so I was whispering it quietly to myself.
Go on. Say it.
Ouroboros?
Oh dear God.
I don't know. Ouroboros? Oh, fuck it, man. I don't give a shit. I don't care anymore. Snake eating itself.
Let me help you.
Ouroboros.
Ew.
Ouroboros.
Okay. You feel better now?
Sure.
Fantastic. I know this because in a drawer in a box just underneath my foot, actually, I have an Ouroboros. I have this thing from a Warhammer Quest game, or Hero Quest. It's a puzzle we put together with a snake eating its own tail in it. Yeah. You're welcome.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Means of Destruction knows it as well. I think, while I agree with Carlos about holding people to their own standards, if you're going to do that, I'd like to see very much who, if you take Biden off the table, who you're going to replace him with. This actually is another damning statement. The Democrats are making a big push. You're making a big push for diversity in the Democratic Party. That's the big thing right now, diversity. But your best candidate is a straight white man. So why not?
An old one at that.
Yeah. One who has proven himself to be very tolerant, very accepting. And yet, you are willing to wipe him from the board for those points that you cannot win with. No offence to the rest of the candidates, but we went through this a few weeks ago. There isn't a candidate on that list that's really any good. Many are saying Beto or Kamala Harris. Beto maybe as a running mate, and Kamala Harris, no. I don't think she has a chance. Maybe Cory Booker, but...
No, I think Kamala Harris has the best shot besides Joe Biden, but...
I don't see her winning. I think Biden does a better job.
I think so too, but honestly, at this point, I don't think there's anybody who can match his masterful manipulation of memes.
Yeah, but the problem with that is, and it's a very obvious problem, is that memes on the grand stage don't matter when they only amuse the trolls. He now has to prove to the people he's worth re-electing by getting that electoral college on side again. Do memes work in redneck areas?
I don't think he's actually lost any support by and large in the rural counties that he had in the past, especially with left-leaning politics trying to force their way forward. He may even win some college-age individuals by pushing the executive order to allow free speech on college campuses.
There are a number of people who've been reaching out to me in DMs that are in college at the moment in the US, and they themselves being conservative types. In fact, one very well-known content creator, Anime Renee, she's a conservative, and she's in college, but she speaks about it. And when I talk to her about it, she gets very upset because she's on her own. She gets shunned, told to shut up, because she's a conservative, not because her ideas are bad, but because she's at least had the decency to do her research first. Others haven't spoken about being conservative because they're scared of what will happen. I find that to be quite fascinating and sad. It is a purity test. If you're not one of us, you're the enemy, you're bad. You should be shunned.
I actually had an argument with somebody on Facebook earlier today about that same topic.
Did I see it on my timeline?
Oh, did you?
It's possible.
Maybe. But unfortunately, a lot of the arguments that I get from other people is that your ideas have no place here, is basically what it comes down to. Your ideas are bad. The basis of your ideas are formed in a bubble in which we want nothing to do with. And so if you even remotely identify with that, with any semblance of that label, you're not allowed here.
I've had some people reference the they say that those on, for example, the more conservative side are heavily religiously influenced, and because of that, they should be shunned. But they are more in a rather interesting contradiction. They're very welcoming of another Abrahamic religion. So I find it quite weird that they would shun those of the Christian or Catholic persuasion, but welcome those of the Islamic, when that's arguably more regressive in this current day and age.
I think they see it as Christianity having been so widely spread, right? And so closely linked to the Puritan movement in early American history. And by say early American history, I mean like 100 years ago, where you had issues with Christians going out against black people, against minorities, eventually formulating themselves into the KKK. And then the most recent example being the Puritan 80s, where punk rock, that was the devil music, right? So
3 chords, gay.
Right. Well, of course, you had people like Marilyn Manson, who expressly used anti-religious symbolism in his works to kind of give you a giant fu to that kind of movement. So I think a lot of people are anti-Christian because they identify that ideology with those kinds of politics, despite them seeing the other Abrahamic religion, the peaceful one, if you will.
We must affirm this all the time. It is the religion of peace.
Of course. And they see nothing wrong with that. In fact, they find it empowering.
Victoria Barton, that sounds like university in the UK as well. It does. My old university, the University of East Anglia, is a key player in all this crap. I did a few years ago, when they banned sombreros, I made a video on it. And when I made the video, I went to Pedro's, name of the Mexican restaurant, that handed them out to students. They got banned because they were culturally appropriating. Right. I did a video around the campus, in fact, with me wearing it. And I got into an argument with somebody on Facebook who was a member of the student union, the NUS, National Union of Students. And the argument was about privilege, safe spaces, freedom of speech. I said I would be more than happy to have Farage speak on the campus. They said no, because his ideas are dangerous. And I said, you're not the one to decide that. It is up to the court of public opinion, not an individual whose feelings were hurt. And eventually the person's feelings were so triggered, they reeled off a list of things they are. Now, I went to their profile and had a look at them first. I noticed they were a straight, white man with a very naughty little hipster cuck beard and hipster douchey glasses. They replied with, I am transabled, trans, non-binary, and a couple other things that I can't remember. Their gender was... what was it? It was they, them pronouns, and there was something else. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
they got so triggered, though, I decided to end the conversation by telling them I was going on a tour of a whiskey factory and I was going to use my white male privilege, even though I'm not white, to go and drink whiskey and hopefully get utterly shreked.
Yes, well done. Good use of privilege. I feel like I'm doing that right now.
Oh well, you know enjoy your crown royal.
You know what's worse about the whole white male privilege thing is the same idea that what makes a white person white. Like, how far do you have to go down the lineage? How many countries do you have to be from to not technically be white, or is it just your skin tone?
Well, that's the thing.
Because there are some.
That's an interesting one, because I know people who have mixed black and white, black mother and a white father, or vice versa, but they're white. There's a really famous one. He's a boxer, a former boxer called Tony Bellew. His mum's black, but he is very white. It's one of those very odd things. It's like, how white do you have to be where it's no longer acceptable for you to say nigger?
Or how black do you have to be to get affirmative action?
Yeah. I think that's a really fascinating like discussion. I don't understand how people work it out, but I think it certainly comes down to a level of tribalism, who they're willing to accept, as opposed to the whole community on the planet, a small community, perhaps.
And you know what's even more odd, right? So they talk about this white male privilege and how it's like this Western only idea. But I don't think white male privilege exists in, say, China.
Does not.
Or any Eastern country. Maybe in Russia, sure. But in terms of Asian countries, well, probably not.
Yeah.
The Japanese probably don't give a single fuck. In fact, there was an article that I read about, it's got to be about 6 months now, where the Japanese government was actually laying people off because they didn't have enough to do.
Yeah.
Because they have regimented their society so well, and people are just like, okay, I'm doing my job here, and now I'm going to go home and do my thing. And the government's like, okay, you do you. And that's it. And that's the end of it. Oh, you want to make a business? All right, here are the rules. All right, we're going to go do that. All right. Now, of course, there's some problems, obviously, intrinsic in every country, but white male privilege doesn't seem to be like one of them.
Japan is notorious for racism towards non-Japanese people and mixed-race people. It's quite interesting, really. China's also quite bad for it, from what I've been told.
Well, they were a very isolated, well, Japan in particular, was a very isolated nation. What was it? What was the Japanese word when they shut the country down? It was after a shogunate took power. Whatever, not important history things.
Obviously.
But it wasn't until the Americans came through with like guns and they were samurai at the beach, and they were like, "Well, wait a second, hold on. I don't think we can fight that."
Nope.
And they were like, "All right, cool. We'll work it out." They opened themselves up.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I don't think that everything is too terribly
Heavy breathing intense. Sorry about that, chat. My microphone's being very sensitive, and apparently I'm out of breath for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe I'm dying.
Maybe. We can only hope for both of us.
Tentacles crossed.
Oh boy. But yeah, I mean, that's just the thing, right? But apparently the East has none of these problems. The East is better than us. These are Western problems, and the West is bad. Well, is the East better? You just said it yourself. They're racist. They're nationalistic. I think, honestly, if they lived in anywhere in the East, they'd be more upset.
Yeah.
But
so,
we got off on a tangent, and
yeah.
I apologize.
So Biden got MeToo'd again. So I'm going to put the article on the screen if you want to talk about that.
Yeah. So I'm pulling that up. Sorry, I was just blowing out smoke.
I know. I could tell.
Hookah, man.
Not knocking.
Yeah, so apparently, as of today, another woman came forward to accuse Biden. Sophie Karasek.
Do you think this would be anything like the Kavanaugh stuff, where people started coming out of the woodwork, and then a number of them were easily debunked?
Maybe, but it seems like Joe has a few more videos of him doing odd things.
You mean
Like the evidence is more prevalent. And even one of the comments I made in the video that I had made earlier this week was these in like specific accusations I cannot personally verify. I don't know.
I often wondered if maybe during his time in office, Obama got Biden to the Oval Office, sat on Joe Biden's knee when he bounced him up and down.
Joe.
Yep. And simply said to him while he was rubbing his shoulders, while Biden was rubbing Obama's shoulders, "This is a little creepy. Maybe just do it to me and not the women." I forgot to finish. Uncle Joe.
Oh yes, creepy Uncle Joe. Yes. Oh, and one of the fucking worst comments that I saw was from a Democratic associate who said some women were okay with it. I was like, oh no, you can't say that.
Do you think maybe he called him Daddy Joe
I hope not.
while being bounced up and down on his knee? Just to
No.
add to this picture, Joe's trousers were by his ankles.
But here's the real question, ready? Do you think he did the same kind of face rubbing as he did with the other children with Obama's kids?
I don't know what he did.
I don't know what he did either.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what happened with that.
Let's hope not, shall we?
Yeah, let's hope so.
I'm going to close that because that's terrible.
Yes, it is.
What
I'm
do you
going to
think?
talk briefly about the Mueller.
Well, let's just first of all predict. What do you think will happen with Joe Biden now with this?
I don't know. He's already come out and made a public apology, which has been memed on.
I haven't seen it. I really should go and get it. Hang on.
It's long.
I'll find the short version.
You did.
Joe Biden apology meme. Oh, that was it, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ! I just realised. Sorry, I had a bit of a boomer moment.
that's all right. I was like,
dear.
you did find the short version.
Well, I didn't find it. You did. You linked it to me.
Oh yeah.
That was quality banter. Okay. So, do you think he will be able to continue his presidential campaign or potential run for the Oval Office?
I do think so, but I expect that to come up in the debates.
I think it happened. Depending, obviously, Trump using it against him, Biden could just fire back. Yes, well, you've got 19 cases against you. I guess it depends on how low Biden is willing to go. If he was able to have it used against him and he just ignored it, possibly he'd be seen as the bigger man.
Yes, I would say so. If he goes low, then a lot of people would lose respect for him as kind of that bigger man.
Because they expect Trump to go low.
Right. And if he doesn't go low, then he will appear weak to the others.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of in a lose-lose situation. So it really is going to come down to how he answers any possible questions about the topic. Because if he can masterfully craft how to answer it, there won't be a problem. Because both sides will be shut up. That's kind of the beauty of politics.
For me, as an outsider, I'm not convinced this will stop him. But I don't think, because of this, that he'll get the nomination. I don't think he can. Unless there's a rule against it, he could be a running mate again. Maybe. He's not a bad running mate. So perhaps, as that, he has a greater chance of getting second place again. Which he won't, because
that's fair.
Seriously.
And actually, that might actually placate a lot of the concerned masses.
I'd like to see Biden debate Pence.
Me too.
I don't know. Pence is because the way Biden was raised, obviously, to be very friendly and handsy with everyone, whereas Pence, he won't go near women.
Yeah,
that's so interesting to me.
Victoria, has he perhaps got the controversy out of the way early? Maybe, unless somebody comes out and wants to press charges against Biden. Unlike Trump, you cannot indict a sitting president in a civil lawsuit, but you can indict a former vice president. So it would be very odd to see.
It'd be interesting to see if they're willing to. Then again, the Republicans could push for it.
Well, it may not even be the Republicans. It might just be one individual person
right.
filing the lawsuit.
Yeah. Okay. There's our prediction for that.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Mueller?
Yeah, we'll talk about Mueller.
Do you want to play that video?
Sure.
Okay, let me just put it up. Okay, here we go.
This
with the attorney
is...
general. Well,
right, I'll play it now. Okay, it's 53 seconds long. I'll just let it play out.
well, we're going to work with the attorney general and for a short period of time, in the hope that that he will reveal to us the entire Mueller report and all the underlying materials, and we'll go to court to get permission to have the 6E material. But if that doesn't work out, then
Thank you, Blade the Vamp, for the £5 donation.
in a very short order, we will issue the subpoenas.
Are you willing to negotiate any middle ground in terms of redactions?
No.
Of them? You're not.
No. The committee must see everything, as was done in every prior instance. Obviously, some material will have to be redacted before it's released to the public to protect privacy, to protect the various rights, but the committee is entitled and must see all the material and make judgments as to what can be redacted for the public release by ourselves.
We're done with that. I really want to see it, by the way.
Oh, me too. A lot of people do. But one of the things that is contained within that report is a secret grand jury.
Oh.
Which, technically, Congress does not even have the authority to see.
Okay.
So, there will, if they do subpoena the entire Mueller report, they will have to have a court order to specifically ignore a certain clause. I believe it's called E65 or something like that. It's part of a larger document that protects the identities and information about grand jurists and their opinions.
Okay.
So we'll see on that one, but this is the chairman of the House. I think it's the House Judiciary Committee. Hold on.
Right.
Nadsler.
Nadsler. No, there's a name.
Yes, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Gerald. That's a fucking weird way to spell Gerald. Wow.
Let me say it. Let me guess. With a J.
Jerrold.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
That's Gerald.
Yeah.
It's trash.
Old Nads. Old Nads is what I'm gonna call him.
Let's call him Old Nads.
Yeah. He's the House Judiciary Committee Chairman.
He's gonna call him that.
So,
I'm gonna call him Conker Balls.
All right, fair enough.
Carry on.
And this is basically him telling the crowded mass of what looks to be all millennial fucking journalists. Doesn't it? Like, are you looking at that picture?
Yeah, I've seen it.
It looks like fucking Logan Paul's in the back right.
For those interested, it's linked below. I'm not putting it on the screen. It's so bad.
That's all right. But yeah, that's the thing. He wants to get the full unredacted thing to Congress, but that there are some legal avenues that he should know damn well that he cannot cross, because when Bill Clinton was brought up on impeachment charges, he told the Republicans that they could not get that information because of the same clause. So the hypocrisy here, because it is partisan, is showing very well. There was a Fox News interview with Senator Mark Meadows. That was the guy who got into the shouting match with Talia.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, Talib.
That was quality.
Yes, but that was he was on Fox News, and he basically said, like, this is bullshit. He won't do this. He is not doing what he is actually planning to do. He's spouting a lot. He is chest pounding, but no, there's nothing that he's going to attempt to actually get. He is basically just playing the media, playing the mob hysteria.
Mm-hmm. I think, yeah, it's kind of tragic. We have said on this channel that when the Mueller report is finally released public, we are going to do a stream on it, just on that.
Yep.
Much like I have on individual Brexit streams. Hell, if we can, we'll probably stream it on Trups' channel as well. Because why the fuck not? Could be interesting anyway.
Oh yeah, and especially if we do go through it, a lot of, oh my god, there's probably like 200 pages of that shit in there.
I don't care. We'll make an evening of it.
Oh yeah, well I'll get a drink.
I've got bottles. We're good.
I'll buy a new thing of whiskey just for that.
I'll make it a Streamlabs goal. Buy Omegon a bottle of Crown Royal.
Yeah.
Just for that stream. It'd be the apple one though for me.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah.
And also I know they have it in my local shop, so yeah.
Serene, is it just me or do all of the sex scandals, inappropriate touching these days involve the Democrats? A lot of them. Definitely a lot of them. I wouldn't say all of them because there was that weird... Go ahead.
The problem really is that, yes, lots of individual Democrats have been caught out, but Trump is their ace in the hole. Because he is the face of the Republicans, and he's been caught in a considerable number of them.
But I would say, like, the actual inappropriate conduct, like serious inappropriate conduct, yes, primarily are Democrats. See Senator Keith Ellison. See what was the guy in Virginia, the lieutenant governor? Wasn't he involved in a sex scandal?
I honestly...
Remember we were talking about Ralph Northam and his blackface thing? The lieutenant governor had also something involved.
There are so many. So many. It's just impossible to keep track of them now.
And then Bill Clinton, obviously.
He was gung-ho about impeaching Bush, was he?
Oh, yeah. Well, Nadler is a partisan through and through. If it's not blue, he wants nothing to do with it. He's a bitch.
That sounds pathetic. I can't be asked with that. It's
Justin
just pathetic.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the Mueller report news is Democrats are crying because they haven't seen it and everything, and they don't believe Barr because he's a hand-picked Trump lackey, as they say. I'm like,
and I tend to take
everyone is.
With Nestle Soros, the whole doubt most of the accusations are true. I believe in innocence until proven guilty, so Biden to me is innocent until you prove him guilty. Yes, he looks creepy in those videos, but that is not indicative of anything sexual.
Right. To me, he's guilty of being creepy.
Yeah, he's guilty of being Uncle Joe. Or to some, or to those that really like it, like Obama. Daddy Joe.
Obama.
Obama.
Jesus.
What did you say?
I heard, because you cut out, I heard Obama.
Oh, well, it's Daddy Joe.
Oh, please, God, no.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's all right.
I'm going to put this video on screen. This lady is Betty Bothroyd. She was the Speaker of the House of Commons before Bercow, two before him, in fact. Martin. Oh, something Martin.
Yikes, that woman looks ancient.
It's not that. She is formidable as fuck.
Is she?
Oh, yes. If you ever watch her, right, if you want to hear people shouting order, that's the one you don't want to hear. Betty Bothroyd, terrifying.
Oh my god,
now,
show me.
When she... Okay, I'll go and get it. When she finished her time as Speaker, not shotgun, shouting order. She, when she left, she immediately got her peerage, and others don't get this kind of luxury. Berko might not get it. Right, I've got this video. It says that she says, "I'm sick and tired of you," so we'll see.
And I quote, "The anomaly is there," and said the answer to the West Lothian question, I quote again,
This is the former Prime Minister John Major, by the way.
"The answer we've all..."
Oh, order. It's a couple of savers. I'm sick and tired of hearing you shout out from a...
She's a scary bitch. Just saying. I'll find the proper order one, because she's got a right voice on her.
Scandal of a government that privately...
That's fucking terrifying.
Without public statement...
Well, where does she shout order? She's scary.
Who exposes British troops to fire from those arms. In 1993,
Hello, Jackie.
he was saying, ministers were prepared to see businessmen wrongly convicted rather than tell how much they knew about the arms trade with Iran. In 1995, he said, if ministers had...
No, this is nice.
Order.
No, she's being... Nah, this is all nice. Where's the rude one? There's a really nasty one of her shouting. Oh, hang on. No, that's the same one from earlier. Fuck it. I'm moving on. We're going to go to this
My
video.
book, you know, if a democracy can't...
Right, her voice has barely changed, but there's one really good video of her just screaming order. You just don't want to hear it. Right? It just sounds horrible. She's going to put "Hello, Teddy." She's got the kind of voice that makes you think she's about to thump you with a slipper. But
Yeah.
in the House of Lords, where she now resides, they are talking about Brexit. And this is what the remainder of this stream is going to be about. So to the 50-odd people watching, by all means leave now. Slap a like though. And so I'm going to play this, because she said some things that really pissed me off.
In my book, you know, if a democracy can't be allowed to change its mind, it ceases to be a democracy. And I...
You know, do you recognise that kind of... You know, if people can't in a democracy change their mind, what she's calling for already?
Yes.
asked the noble lord, the government minister, when he winds up, what is the government afraid of in refusing a people's vote? And in answering to that question, would he please explain to young people who have reached adulthood why they don't have the right to be heard on an issue our generation has manifestly bodged?
So, she basically thinks that now 2 years have passed, more young people exist, therefore those young people that didn't have the right to vote because they weren't old enough when the vote was held should have a right to vote now in a people's vote on the referendum itself, on in-out, or on the deal. People's vote is reference to either a second referendum, in-out, or a vote on the deal or no deal. And then
I have mixed opinions on that.
I don't agree with a second referendum. That is a simple statement of fact. I do not. It happened. Remain lost. She continues that whole thing by talking about how Boris Johnson lied to the people about what money would be put into the country. He didn't lie. If we left, and we left on no deal terms, yeah. In fact, the 350 million would have been available. Because that's our membership fee. Yes, we would have actually been kind of fucked in trade sense for about 30% of what we needed. But it wasn't entirely impossible. Anyway, I wanted to show that because I've been watching House of Lords and yeah. I saw that live and thankfully found a clip of it. But today,
Nice.
Theresa May has written to Donald Tusk in a rather lengthy letter, which I'm going to put on the screen for everyone. There are 4 more of these where they have requested that when the European Council convene for 10th of April, that they, instead of having us leave without a deal on the 12th, they consider extending it to June, which this letter here quite clearly states where there are a number of issues that arise and why we need more time. So basically, to withdraw from the European Union before 29th Council Parliament elections, continue to make responsible preparations to hold the election should this not prove possible. it's basically a way of dawdling. Because she wants here, the UK proposed the period should end on the 30th of June. Now, while this has been... Oh, my apologies. Thank you, Leslie. Would the UK like me to just die and stop getting in the way? I genuinely believe that is an argument made by a number of people. They have actually said... Okay, so the guy who put the new shed in our back garden, he and his son's 21, 22, but he's conservative, so he's quite reasonable. His dad, though, is 57. And he says, why should I have a vote anymore? And I said, because you have earned the right to vote. That is a birthright from an age where you are deemed to be of reasonable mind to make a decision like that. And he said, yes, but I'm not going to have to live through a number of these things. I said, that doesn't matter. When you vote then, you either vote what's best for you, or you vote what you believe is best for the next generation. It's
That's actually quite a existential kind of a thought process.
It is.
And no, it's quite poetic in that aspect as well.
You could do a food
because I find that problem exists here in America.
You think so?
I think so. A lot of people don't know why they vote, and a lot of people have
you should do a video
this
on this, by the way.
reservation. Oh yeah, you're right.
It'd be a good video, I think.
But a lot of people have a reservation on why we vote, and to be honest, everyone has their own reasons, and those are what make the entire point of a democratic republic, my apologies, worth it. Poetically suicidal. Most poems are quite dark in that aspect.
Most
sure.
poems make me want to cut myself
into pieces. This is your last resort.
Yeah.
Okay. Demonetized.
Yeah. With Theresa May's letter, there is a fallout. While this has been going on, yes, it is a representational republic, I know. With this going on, Theresa May has been meeting up with Labour for the last 3 days. Well, at first it was productive, with many thinking a second referendum could happen, a people's vote could happen, no deal is off the table. Well, they ended today. That is no longer continuing. It's over. They could not reach an agreement, a consensus. There was progress, now there isn't. And
imagine my shock.
Yeah. To add to this, with Theresa May's letter, a number of members of the Conservative Party have been airing their views on this by smashing, tearing up their memberships because they don't want to be a part of the party that is now betraying the people's vote. The original one, not having a second one. This has quite rightly irritated people, and this picture has been surfacing everywhere. But there is one other thing that has been going on, and it involves Emmanuel Macron. It involves Angela Merkel, and I believe it involves Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte, who have slapping down Donald Tusk's call for that 12-month flextension for the UK. It's been called a flextension in the sense that it's flexible extension. It's yeah. The Prime Minister for Netherlands had said that May's letter had no full plan and there was only part of a plan, which is exactly what her letter was. It was again nebulous. That trending word is cropping up again. I think Macron just wants to slap it down because he believes that this is just ridiculous now. And well, I think
I have to agree with the on fire French Prime Minister.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
But I also don't think that he has much to say in regards to other people running their countries when his has been on fire for the past 19 weeks.
There's another thing I want to add to that in a moment, but I noticed that Mog did tweet out about how Britain should be as difficult as possible if it kept in the EU for longer than planned, then they should be as difficult as possible. And I tend to agree with that as well. because the EU have been a thorn in our side with negotiations. Why not be the biggest cunts you can possibly be? And to go to Macron, to showcase EU might in the wanting to turn the EU into a superstate, he had Merkel and Juncker fly to him when he, for a meeting with, what's his name, Xi Jinping, the Chinese guy.
Chinese.
Yeah, he went to France, and so Macron, being the grown-up, got two grown-ups to go meet up with Xi Jinping. I don't know. I can't pronounce. I'm sorry.
No, that's correct.
Right. They went and they did that as a sign of European strength in the ongoing international scene, where Europe is instead being that force, which I think is quite interesting, because there are many calling for European armies, calling for more sovereign powers being given up to the EU, and now heads of certain nation states and Juncker are meeting up with one of what could be rivals, many positing that this could be the start of a Eurasian related thing. I don't know. It felt tinfoil hatty when I saw it. I think
I've had like weird thoughts when it came to the idea of conspiracy theories. Have you noticed that a lot of conspiracy theories nowadays have been proven correct? Especially when it comes to
Army one was.
Government shit.
The European Army was. Farage was right.
Well,
you wanted to become a super state. Proven
DNC.
Right. Oh god, yeah, the DNC. Yeah. I don't mind the EU wanting to be more of a federal thing. I really don't. We had this argument, but one-way discussion last week. It's not built on a solid foundation. This foundation is built on sticks on wonky rocks. It's going to collapse, and I think the problem the EU has is that it wants to become this bigger thing to create a more stable economy for itself as a whole. The problem there is a number of the states are very poor, so unless you intend to balance the book somehow or balance it out, that's not going to work in the long run. But you're also going to try and compete with America, who you are pushing further and further away, Russia, who is apparently the enemy to you, and China, who you are already well known for being suspicious of. I just don't get it.
I honestly think that, well, especially if you're going to try and team up with China, you must be very, very cautious, because it is no secret to any Western power that the Chinese don't like us in a governmental sense.
Yeah.
Their governments and their people often will try subterfuge and cyber attacks on both countries, both yours and mine, and probably others. Often. This is simply a fact of the nature of evolving warfare. We must be very cautious in reaching out, the same way we were cautious originally with doing North Korea meetings.
Well, thankfully, their computers are running on Windows Vista, so their hacking skills are a bit,
Right, yes. They were still having Nmap hacker exploits from 2001. But that is essentially that is essentially kind of where we're looking. China is a superpower who has been able to contend with the likes of the West pretty well continuously. It would be unwise for us to so coyly walk in and try and arrange a equal deal.
Right. I know that also a number of people, when they use Russia in these cyber attack arguments, I find it so frustrating, because they use Russia as a big bad. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know what they think they can achieve when they don't have any evidence to prove half the shit they say.
Yeah, your country hates or makes Russia the big bad too, doesn't it?
It does, yes. Like
I don't get it.
We're promoting. We want to put more sanctions on it. Bye bye Fenrir Lair painting. We're actually finishing soon anyway, so it's all good. Ghost Poo is important.
Have a good
I don't get it personally, because yet again we've been proven wrong. Syria airstrikes on the chemical weapons things in Syria. Russia blocked it. We did it anyway. There were no chemical weapons there.
Yeah, I'm happy about it.
But the Russians must have moved it. Right. You found one drum of chlorine. We're going to dunk a baby in it. Seriously. Or maybe some chickens.
Yeah, can't do that, right?
There is one thing I did want to go back to on Brexit quick. There's a picture I put on the screen. What happens now that Theresa May is asking Corbyn for help? This was obviously predicated on the assumption that there would be a possibility of a solution. I'll slow it down a little bit so that it gradually decreases. Give people enough time to appreciate how much effort the Daily Mail went to put this thing up, even though in hindsight it is now all utterly fruitless. I don't care. I'm kind of done with it. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens now that this fucking shrew has no ideas. The only
I almost really feel bad for you guys in the UK, because this has been going on for 2 years, and I've heard it from so many different individuals who cover UK news. Everyone just sounds so fucking dead tired.
The Brexit
of
thing
reporting
is
on it.
Exhausting. It really is. That's why I've been trying to mix it up in videos. And what I love is that I've gotten to that stage where in the past I used to make videos and other people had done it already. But 2 of my last 7 videos bearing covered a few days later. Meaning I got to it first, which made me very happy. It's the little things, okay?
No, I definitely get it.
Before we finish, as we are finished, is there anything you'd like to shill?
I did earlier, videos this week. I believe my my Wednesday video was on Joe Biden, and what the fuck did I do on Monday?
He masturbated.
Nah.
Sorry. Well, you work out what you did. I have started recording a short Moist Ski Reads video. It's going to be the Tale of Azathoth. It's just a very short thing. It's not going to be anything long just yet. Penny Pencil Cookie's doing the visuals, some of the visual stuff I'm doing. But I'm going to also shill, because it's his birthday, I'm going to shill Disc in our stream, which is over here on Twitch. He is streaming right now, and his birthday. So if you could do me a huge favour and go over there and simply say, happy birthday, moron, like this. There we go. We're helping, and I think you'd appreciate it.
Always nice to rate a stream.
Yeah. All say happy birthday, moron, because apparently the word Y, letter Y, is missing from my vocabulary. I don't know. I'm special. Say goodnight, Trups.
Good night, Trups.
Good night, Trups.